Aloha and welcome to the Secret Art of Huna podcast, where I'll be sharing how to use Huna, the carefully guarded spiritual, energetic and healing practices of the ancient Hawaiians, to help you transform those bits of your life that aren't working, to help you find your purpose, or maybe just to help you dump emotional baggage. I'm Dr. Jane Lewis, and 20 years ago I was burnt out, depressed, unfulfilled, disappointed, directionless and deeply, deeply miserable. Huna enabled me to change all that, and so I now share it with whoever wants to experience a more joyful, fulfilling life.
Well, aloha and welcome from the Secret Art of Huna. I'm talking today from a place called Sheepdrove. It's an eco-organic farm in the heart of racing country in England. Everywhere you go around here, there are racehorse stables, and it's also a very historic area. It's not too far from Stonehenge, but it's also very close to a place called Wayland Smithy, which is a prehistoric structure, and it's also close to the White Horse, one of the prehistoric big white horses that is etched into the cliffs. And if you want to, periodically you can volunteer, because you can go and re-chalk the White Horse, join the team that's re-chalking the White Horse. So it's a prehistoric area, it's a racing horse area, and interesting from my perspective, this particular farm, what they've done is they've set up a natural burial ground. So if you like racing or racehorses, and you want to be buried in a natural burial ground, then Sheepdrove is a place to do it. It's owned by the people who own Neal's Yard, and it's set up to be as eco as possible, carbon neutral. So everything they've used in the buildings, they've used materials that are recyclable or have been recycled. The sewage system is reed beds, they don't go into main drainage. It's an extraordinary, extraordinary beautiful place in the middle of nowhere. And as you can hear, there's almost nothing going on around here. You'll hear the birds, and occasionally you'll hear the central heating for the main building going on. But it's beautiful. And I'm here because I'm doing a course in voice dialogue. And voice dialogue is a technique to help develop an awareness of the different parts of us that are active in our programming, and and they have an important part to play in how we run our behaviours. So great place to be, great course to be doing, and I'm looking forward to facilitating people in that. What I wanted to talk to you today about is gratitude and manifestation. And there are two reasons why I think gratitude is really important. One reason is to do with the psychological and the way that we're programmed. The other reason is to do with the more esoteric, the more spiritual, and our relationship to the universe. Now, whether you're spiritual or not, you can't avoid the fact that you are a psychological being. You have a strong psychology. So let's talk about that first, how it works and why it works, or why it works and how it works. So at a deep level, and I mean deep in our brain, and I mean deep really in our being, there is something called the reticular activating system, the RAS, your RAS. And the reticular activating system is part of the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain, we share the reptilian brain with reptiles. The clue is in the name. And it's the part of the brain, it doesn't really think logically, it doesn't reason, and it's not really about emotion. It is fundamentally about survival. And the reticular activating system, the RAS, is like a little sonar device. So it's constantly going whoop, 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 and it's looking for what's out there in the environment. And what it tracks is the things that we're interested in. Now, we might be interested in them because they're inherently interesting, we're curious, but more importantly, it's tracking the things that are going to assist us with our survival. That's what it's there for. So as your RAS is doing its whoop, 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 you can help it look for the things that you are consciously interested in. Most of our thinking, most of our behavior is based on unconscious programming. Now, we can bring that programming into consciousness, and that's part of what voice dialogue is about. We can bring that programming into consciousness so that we're aware of it and we can do something about it. But it's still there. So, for example, if somebody says something to you in a tone of voice, which at an unconscious level, almost forgotten, reminds you of the voice of your school dinner lady who was mean and critical and unkind, and every time you went into the school cafe, she would undermine you and make you feel lacking in confidence. That voice in the present moment, that person speaking in the present moment, without any intention, may trigger that memory and the emotions and the behaviours and the reactions that go with it in you. Equally, somebody says something in a tone of voice that reminds you of your school dinner lady who is absolutely lovely and helpful, and she boosted your self-esteem and you felt lovely when you were in her company. That may unconsciously kick off that program of feeling loved, feeling empowered, or feeling high self-esteem. So we've got these programs that run, and the RAS is constantly looking for the triggers and looking for the things, particularly where survival is concerned. So what you can do with gratitude, as far as as your psychology is concerned, is you can teach your system to look out for the things that you like and you want more of. So having a daily gratitude practice, and it's a very simple practice, having a daily gratitude practice is going to help your system look for the things that you like, want more of, and therefore have a happier experience. Let's look at the other side, the esoteric, the spiritual. From a gratitude perspective, what you're doing is every time you express gratitude to the universe for manifesting something that you really want, you're putting out a message to the universe saying, I like this, please give me more of it. Now, if you're not spiritual, you don't believe in that sort of stuff, and you don't believe in manifestation, that's fine. You're still going to operate at a psychological perspective, from a psychological perspective. The gratitude practice itself is incredibly simple. It's simply a question of picking a time of day, either at night or in the morning, of being grateful, saying to yourself, saying to the universe, if that's what you believe in, thank you so much for giving me this today, and please give me more of it, assuming you want more of it. At One of Many, where I coach, we call it thinking and thanking, but it's a general gratitude practice. Thank you for this. I love this. I love that I have this in my life. I love that this happened, and I'd love it if you gave me more of it. Very simple, very helpful, and operates both at a psychologically deep unconscious level and, if you're spiritually minded, at a spiritual level. So I hope that's been interesting and useful for you. And I'm just going to give you a little view for those of you who are seeing this on the video. Obviously, if it's on the blog or you're listening on the podcast, you won't get the visuals. But I'm just going to give you a little visual tour before I go of this beautiful place. And I look forward to talking to you very soon. If you like what I'm talking about and you want to know more, then you can always book a complimentary call to find out how I can help you. secretartofhuna.com/diary. Book in the call. We can have the conversation. Central heating at the building's gone on, so I'm just going to give you a little view, and I'll talk to you very soon. And there we go. This is this lovely place. The farm buildings, the conference centre, and how lucky and grateful I am to be here. Please give me more of this.
I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. If you want to bring about rapid transformation in your life, check out secretartofhuna.com, where you can also download a free meditation to help you with self-forgiveness. You can also look out for Secret Art of Huna on social media such as Facebook and LinkedIn. Look forward to talking to you again very soon.